Hello everyone, I'm Humorworld, the developer of Warsim, and this is a new video about the Arena Remastered update. So, I haven't actually done any videos like this on the channel yet, but this is going to be a video that is breaking down a really big new update that's coming out and showing off some of the features of it and showing off some things I really like. So there's 114 features in this update, so I'm definitely not going to be able to show every little thing, but I'm going to try and show some of the bigger, more important stuff, I guess. And this all started kind of by accident. So there was a suggestion in the Warsim Discord for the ability to execute champions of the arena that you don't like. So maybe it's the champion that killed your favorite champion, right? And you want him dead. Well, you as the ruler of the land should be able to do that, right? So I saw that idea and I thought, you know, that's not a bad idea. And I thought, well, I'll note it down. And then I thought, well, you know, I'd probably just add that quite quickly right now, right? So I went in and started working on it. And I got a few ideas and things ballooned a bit further, and I added more stuff and I expanded it a bit further, and then I was thinking I'm already quite deep into the arena code right now. So the arena is something that has definitely had lots of new additions over time, but there are also some things that have been saved on a list of stuff to do in the future when I end up doing an arena overhaul, and I haven't touched that in quite some time, and it's accumulated quite a lot. And I checked out the list and I thought, you know what, I could do all these things now. So for the last 3 weeks I've been working really hard on this arena update, and it's overhauled quite a lot of stuff. So you can now execute champions, there's a new Hall of Fame, there's a new tournament you can host, and the standard arena fight system has been completely overhauled. So I'm going to show off as much as I can, but obviously I won't be able to show everything. So yeah, let's go, let's get into it. So I'm going to load my autosave, and so by default, for a normal arena, actually there should be 15 fights left, so I must have already done 5 prior to this. But now there's a limit to the number of fights that you can have in the arena. So previously it was infinite. Now obviously nothing is infinite in real life, right? So now you'll be able to watch 5 fights per year in the lowest arena, 10 in the little arena, 15 in the standard arena, and I think 25 and 30 in the bigger ones, or maybe higher than that, I can't remember, but it's quite a lot. So this actually surprised me. It doesn't last that long, but I mean 10 fights, judge for yourself, I suppose. So now we'll watch a fight, and so it's 18 gold to watch the fight, and we've got someone called Ewan, the Iron Captain, versus an Ice Demigod. So that's the one thing. In the arena, the people that fight are based on who is in your world. So you might have some, you know, a kingdom of frost trolls or something, maybe a kingdom of little mini gnomes or something. The mini gnomes are going to lose in the arena pretty much all the time, right? But sometimes you'll have a fairly balanced, or maybe, who knows, kind of situation with your races. In this particular world that I'm in, I have ice demigods. So if you see an ice demigod fighting, it's practically guaranteed that they're going to win, because they are ice demigods. So in this case, Ewan the Iron Captain could be a really good fighter, but I know for a fact he will not survive. So all of what you've seen so far is exactly what the arena ordinarily did. And then after that, you would be displaying every single thing that happens in the fight and then who won, all at once, with a bunch of yellow lines. So it's been reworked, so let's see. So now you see we've got a graphic for the arena, the name of the 2 fighters, the move that happened, any damage that was done, and then we've got their health. And as you can see here, the damage has taken off has made Ewan's health go, I guess, like a sort of dark yellow colour. And the Ice Demigod's health is ridiculous. So Ice Demigod gets a light but sharp hit on Ewan the Iron Captain. And a pair of huge hits on Ewan, and that's it. So now we've got a new victory screen as well. Ewan the Iron Captain is dead and will soon be forgotten. The crowd cheers for the victorious Ice Demigod. So these 2 are both random. There's a lot more of these texts that are random. I think there's 15 in total, and there's maybe 5 of these. So it's just to give it a little bit of variation. So we'll watch another fight. So there's 9 left. And, oh, no entry fee paid this time. Lucky me. So this is a Blind Knight against Sir Sin the Mariner. So the Blind Knight will have a whole move set just for them because they're blind. In the same sense, we also have a new moveset for pacifist units, if you find any of those in the arena. So Sin the Mariner kicks the Blind Knight backwards a little bit and gets a light stab in Knight's chest. The Blind Knight somehow manages to parry with Sir Sin for a moment. Then he gets a good strike. Blind Knight frantically turns around trying to figure out where Sir Sin the Mariner is. He manages to catch him with 2 strikes. Sir Sin gets a light hit on the Blind Knight. Blind Knight somehow manages to parry with him for a moment. He avoids a blow, lightly stabs the Knight's head. Blind Knight faces the wrong direction to fight. Sir Sin gets a quick but sharp hit, and Blind Knight is dead. He tried his best. Blind Knight is defeated and no more. The crowd roars and chants for Sir Sin the Mariner as he leaves victorious. So Sir Sin will get to fight on again. So let's see if he does any better against a Lava Cthulhu Master. Oh, he's got a lot more health, but he's already getting beaten out the gate. Let's see. So he gets kicked. He managed to get a quick sharp hit. The Lava Cthulhu dodges a swing. The crowd are booing and shouting at Sir Sin the Mariner. They parry. He kicks Sir Sin over. Lava Cthulhu stops for a moment and nods at Sir Sin. How honourable. Lava Master and Sir Sin get caught in a parry, but the Lava Master breaks it and gets a sharp blow. Sir Sin gets a fantastic strike on the Lava Cthulhu Master. He swings and misses. The Cthulhu Master hits him on the head. Oh, damn. Okay. They are in parity. So despite the fact that Sir Sin started with 205 health, they have 36 health each. I don't know. I don't fancy Sir Sin's chances, but anything could happen. The Lava Cthulhu misses. Oh, he dodges a fireball thrown by a Warlock in the crowd as well. And, oh wow, Sir Sin managed to get him twice. If Sir Sin can hit him again, he might win. The crowd are cheering for the Lava Cthulhu Master. I don't know, I'm kind of cheering for Sir Sin. Oh, a Lava Cthulhu kicks him over. I thought that was Sir Sin then. I was going to say he would have won. The crowd are cheering for Lava Cthulhu Master. Lava Cthulhu Master catches him on the head with a quick hit. It's over. That was a hell of a fight. So we've got 7 fights left. So we've seen basically a third of the fights that are available this year. So that's not the only thing that's been added. I've now got the ability to have the Grand Champion executed in option number 8 there. So Sir Farcon has 8 wins, so far undefeated. Let's have him executed. Order the Grand Champion be brought forward for execution, and the arena owner Creed the Gluttonous hears the request and says, all champions die eventually, I suppose. So in this case, I don't own the arena. The arena owner is random. In this case, it's someone called Creed the Gluttonous. He will have his own personality and traits, which will reflect on the text that he displays in this event. So I can't remember how many different things there are, but there are lots of different things that they can say depending on their personality when you try to execute someone. And there also are some other reactions depending on how things go. So Farcon, the Stoneborn Kicklord. Oh, damn. It's dark. The Grand Champion is brought forward and boldly declares, I will not allow myself to die by an unworthy blade. He then pulls out a dagger from his belt and slices his own throat. So in this scenario, we didn't even get to try and execute him. He killed himself. And that will be reflected. Now the Grand Champion is gone. A battle will be fought by the 2 new prospective champions. The winner of this bout will be sworn in as the new Grand Champion. So if we check out the Hall of Fame, so my previous champion, Sir Finn the Capable, from prior to this update, and then we've got Sir Farcon the Stoneborn Kicklord. Suicide is the cause of death in 183. And so if we go and look further, he was defeated not in battle but by his own hands in the court of Rabax of the Waters. I guess that's my name. I can't even remember. The ruler of the drunk great host. Refusing to be executed, he slit his own throat. So it will permanently commemorate the ending of these champions. Now, obviously, if eventually 8 more champions end up with 9 wins or more, Farcon will be kicked off the list. But you start to see the sort of stories that develop in your world as you interact with these characters and do these sorts of things. So now we're going to watch the Grand Champion Challenge. And to be fair, this is kind of exploitable in a way, because you can execute a champion and then there'll be another champion fight, and you can keep doing that. But if you want to cheese the system that way, you're very welcome to. All it'll mean is there'll never be any champions that do very well. But I suppose in that sense, you can sort of infinitely watch the new challengers that come forward. Let's see who wins. So we got Brax the Once Dead against Idwal Clapperson. The Once Dead, I don't know whether that's a good thing or bad thing. Are they weak because they're already partially dead? Or are they strong because they've come back from the dead? Who knows? I guess we'll see. So it seems like Brax is better off health-wise, but will that make a difference in the fight? He cracks Idwal on the head. Gets another slap on him. Idwal shouts, nowhere to run here, let's fight. So this is a new thing. There's 70 new insults that can be shouted between fighters in the arena. It's still got nothing on the gnome insult battle range of insults, but it's a decent chunk of them. And it's to add just an extra layer of variation to the fight. So Brax the Once Dead gets a good hit on Idwal. Yeah, Idwal's definitely dead. Brax moves to avoid a hit, but slips. Idwal manages to crack Brax on the head. Brax takes a bow for the crowd. Brax the Once Dead gets a light hit on Idwal. A fairly light hit. Parries.
Overkill.
There we go. We got our first overkill. Brax the Once Dead gets a huge and fast hit on Idwal. So the overkill and the extreme overkill are 2 situations that can happen if an enemy's health is pushed below -25, or minus 100. So if their health is below minus 25, it's an overkill, and if it's below minus 100, that's an extreme overkill. They mean literally nothing. It's just a way to track like how extreme the kill was, right? So if someone is like killed and they just die, it says dead. But if it's like a pretty bad damage over the finishing line, it's pretty brutal, then it'll be overkill. It's just a bit of flavor. So Brax is our new champion. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, no, Brax. Idwal Clapperson is defeated and is left lifeless on the ground. The mighty champion has successfully defended his title and leaves with glory, honor, and a higher win count. So Brax the Once Dead is the new champion. And of course, I can execute him as well, right? So the Creed the Gluttonous hears a request and says, I didn't inherit the arena to deal with this sort of thing. Do as you must. So here we've got a different situation. The Grand Champion is dragged forward. He laughs to himself and seems amused at the situation. So I can choose to execute him or not execute him. We've come this far, so we may as well. You say the word, and Brax the Once Dead is swiftly beheaded. I guess he's now actually dead. Okay. Now the arena is gone, the champion is gone. A battle will be fought by the two new prospective champions. So, once again, we've got that situation. If we check out the Hall of Fame, Brax the Once Dead, beheaded. He was beheaded in the royal court by the decree of Rabax of the Waters, the ruler of the drunk great host, for reasons unknown. And they will remain unknown forever. So you can sort of see this thing develop. And I'm going to show a third thing that can happen as part of this new Hall of Fame change. So we're going to sort of rip through this fight a little bit. I'm not going to narrate what's going on. Oh, there we go. That's an interesting one. A bottle gets thrown and hits Bered, son of Thurnick. I know I said I wasn't going to narrate, but if anything interesting happens, I will. Oh, an arrow shot from the crowd. There's a lot of crowd interference this time. So crowd interference has also been expanded a little bit. There's a few extra things that can happen. Obviously, no crowd interference is possible if you own the arena and you build the arena guard posts. But if you don't, expect stuff like this to happen. Okay, so Burton the Stinky is the new champion. So now I'm going to do a little thing here. So 69 is a little cheat code that allows you to have the champion fight again. He's fighting Navasa, son of Utag. And I'm essentially just going to keep going until Burton loses. So he's won another fight. Let's play him again. Anus, son of Crow. Oh damn, we just missed it. There was a critical hit that just happened then. So critical hits. Oh damn. We got our first extreme overkill. And I got the death of Burton the Stinky, which is what I wanted. So we've witnessed another critical hit here. Anus, son of Craw, and Burton the Stinky get caught in a parry. Anus breaks the parry and gets a sharp blow. It's a critical hit. So critical hits essentially amplify the damage done 5 times. You could also get a really rare super critical, which does 10 times as much damage, so it would be 440. Obviously, 220 damage is more than the average fighter's HP in general, so the critical hits tend to be pretty devastating, and when they happen, that tends to be the end of the fight. But, I mean, it's definitely possible that it wouldn't be. I've seen some pretty small critical hit damage if the move is really petty, but it can give the edge to anyone. So in this case, we've got an extreme overkill because Burton the Stinky's health went below minus 100. And now, we've got Anus, son of Craw as the winner, but... Oh, I did the wrong thing. Oh, here we go. I accidentally went to execute him, but he's offered me 50 gold to spare him. I will take that. Okay, so I was trying to go to the Hall of Fame. So now we've got, if you notice, Burton the Stinky in the third slot there. It says defeated by Anus, son of Crow. So previously it would have just said defeated in 138. But I've added a new system that, so if you notice, actually that is what it used to look like. This is pre this update, so Finn the Capable. This is forever onwards what it looks like when anyone is defeated in a normal fight and entered into the Hall of Fame. So even if Anus, son of Crow falls off the list, they will forever be remembered as the person who killed Burton the Stinky, and that's, of course, Burton the Stinky drops off the list. But what this means is there's a bit more of a story told, and it also explains it further if you look at his bust. He was ultimately defeated by Anus, son of Craw, and died with honor and glory in the name of the arena. And how it used to read was, he was ultimately defeated and died with honor and glory. So it's not really much that is said there. And I don't know, it's not a huge change, to be honest, in the Hall of Fame, but I quite like it. It adds an extra bit of dynamic. And what often happens is sometimes the person who defeats a big champion doesn't always go on to greatness themselves, and they might not even be in the Hall of Fame. And so we don't know who it was that killed Finn the Capable. But, well, actually, it probably was Sir Falcon. But in that case, it's sort of... it keeps the legacy of who killed them in the Hall of Fame as well. So you can have up to potentially 16 people remembered in this 8-person Hall of Fame. And it also tells a story. You know, you might notice that the number 3 champion of all time was the one that ended the reign of the number 1 champion of all time, and then the number 2 defeated the number 3, and so on and so forth. And it builds a little bit of a narrative. So it's something I'm really looking forward to seeing develop when I play my own playthroughs and see the Hall of Fame grow throughout a playthrough. I mean, as you see here, it's a bit chaotic at the moment, but as you play, and these fights happen every turn, you might see champions with this level of wins or maybe higher, and many more like that. And with your slots full, many of these weaker 1-win and 2-win champions will drop off the list and be replaced by people who've done better. And you'll see it develop in your playthrough. And in fact, if you've got a playthrough where you have an arena in your world that has a Hall of Fame, and you've played for, I don't know, 100 turns, check the Hall of Fame out and see how it looks, because honestly, a lot would have happened in the time since the game began, up until your 100th turn. There would have been 100 champion fights, which means there's going to be a lot of heroes. So that is some of the stuff. I've still got to show you the slave gauntlets, so I'm going to try and... so what I'll need to do is own the arena for that. So I'm going to speak to Creed the Gluttonous, and I'm going to purchase the arena from him. And the arena is now mine. So now I should be able to set up a tournament. So you can set up tournaments anyway, but this new type of tournament cannot be hosted unless you own the arena. I also need some slave soldiers, so I'm going to go see to that right now. So let's buy 8 slave soldiers. And that was 40 gold, so you'll see why that's a pretty good deal in regards to this. Although you've obviously had to pay quite a lot of money to have the arena, so it's not exactly like it's super free money or anything. So now I've got the option to arrange a slave gauntlet. So ordinarily, if I was to host a commoners tournament, it would cost me 2,000 gold. If I was to host an 8-man tournament, 3,000, and the others cost a bit more as well. And you have to pay money to host them. The slave gauntlet doesn't cost any money. In fact, it makes you money, but it costs you slave soldiers. And it is kind of immoral, so you will lose public opinion for doing it. This is a new type of tournament. Let's give it a shot. So the slave soldiers are brought forward and the tournament is announced. Many folk come to witness it, while others view it with disgust. 8 slaves will enter, but only 1 will leave a free man. Rumours of your slave tournament spread, -1 public opinion. -8 slave soldiers. So this is the start of things. It'll always be -1 public opinion for now. And yeah, this is a new type of tournament where the entry fee is essentially providing the units. So we've got a bunch of different units here. They've all got slave-related sort of end names. So there's a few duplicates here. We've got 2 twice chains. And actually, surprisingly, that's it. All things considered. So the fighters line up and have their chains removed and are then presented to the crowd. The fighters just followed. Oswalk the twice chained, Dodor the slave, Ben the ensnared, Galthak the sad slave, Rogoth the slave miner, Enurin the slave born, Blaud the slave labourer, and Afwald or Alfwald the twice chained. So I'm going to watch these fights and let's see how it goes. So, yeah, I think Dodor's going to win this one then.
Overkill.
Interesting. Ben the ensnared against Galthak. Maybe Ben the ensnared. It's going to be hard to see how this goes. Oh, he's already got a few good hits out the gate. The crowd are cheering for Ben. He kicks Galthak, cracks him on the head, cracks him on the head again, blocks and hits him. I've never seen something so one-sided. Galthak tries to... Well, he avoids a blow. Oh, wow. Another critical hit. So that was from a kick. Wow. He kicked him to death. Very brutal. And Ben did not take a single hit the entire fight. So he's one to watch. We've got Rogoth the slave miner against Anurin the slave born. Let's see how this one goes. So immediately out of the gate, it looks like Rogoth has a lot less health. In fact, Anurin has 100 more health than him exactly. So Anurin managed to catch Rogoth. Interesting. Nothing happened. So that's a bug. Anurin the slave born is grazed by an arrow shot from the crowd. -10 HP for Anurin the slave born. Anurin swings for Rogoth but misses. The crowd start cheering for Anurin. Keep it up, you can do it. Anurin manages to get a very good hit on Rogoth. Rogoth dodges a bottle. They get caught in a parry. There's a block and deflect and hit. Another parry. A lot of dodges. There's not a lot going on. The crowd are now roaring for Anurin again. Wow, guys. Okay, here we go. Wow, he's got 2 health left. Oh, he's come back, finally. He's cracked Anurin on the head. And he's hit him a second time.
Overkill.
Ah, such a shame. He was really, like, picking it up. Anna and the Slaveborn effortlessly cuts off Rogoth the Slave Miner's leg and leaves him squealing. So that was an execution move. Interesting. So that's a tough fight. Who have we got next? Blode the Slave Miner or Labourer against Alfwold the Twice Chained. So this is the last fight of the round. And it seems like Alfwold has the advantage health-wise. But we'll see. Oh, wow. That is a hell of a strike. Alfwold stabs Blode in the chest. 59 health. And gets him again with 2 hits. And then another. Oh no, that was Blode hitting back. Very fast strike. Alfwold gets a light hit. The crowd are cheering for Blode. I mean, I'm not optimistic. Blode trips over. Alfwold grins. The crowd boo Blode now, so they can't make their minds up. Alfwold smashes him on the head. They get caught in a... Oh, he blocks a swing. And oh, come on, he's got to be dead at this point.
Overkill.
Yeah, okay. So we've got the second round. These are the current standings of the Slave Gauntlet, with 2 fights left to decide who makes it to the finals. We have Dodor the Slave going up against Ben the Ensnared, and we have another fight between Anna and the Slaveborn and Alfwold the Twice Chained. And so you see, normally it says champion here, but in this case it says free, because whoever wins this earns their freedom. So I'm quite excited to see this. So I'm going to watch all the fights of this tournament. So Ben the Ensnared is definitely the better fighter from what I remember in his fight. He didn't get hit once, but we'll see how he does this time. So he takes a swing, but it's dodged. Oh, Dodor stabs Ben in the chest. Dodor then gets caught in a parry, but breaks it and manages to strike him. Ben does the same. Dodor shouts, "One of us will die today and it won't be me." Ben the Ensnared then gets a very sharp strike on Dodor the Slave. Ben tries to attack but slips and misses. Ben kicks Dodor back. The crowd are cheering for Ben. Ben and Dodor get caught in a parry, but Ben breaks it and strikes him. Dodor tries to attack but falls over. Ben kicks Dodor over and he falls lifeless from the kick. Dodor manages to dodge a bottle from the crowd. Wow, he's got 1 HP. Dodor shouts, "Die with honor!" Ben the Ensnared holds his blade high in the air for the crowd and then gets an incredible strike on Dodor the Slave, knocks his dead lifeless corpse sliding across the floor. It's all over. Wow, that is quite a finisher. So the lifting the sword in the air thing is a random thing they might do to please the crowd. So the fact he did that right before he executed his enemy who had 1 HP, that was quite a scene. So yeah, that was a tough fight, but Ben the Ensnared got it. I'm thinking he could be the winner of the tournament. I'm not sure yet. I guess we'll have to see how these guys do. And I have no idea, honestly, who will win this one. So Alfwold the Twice Chained... Why can't I say that? Alfwold the Twice Chained strikes Anarin the Slaveborn as hard as possible. Oh my god, he instantly won. I didn't even notice that. That was an eventful one. So we've got Ben against Alfwold. The crowd boo and shout at Alfwold, probably because of how short that match was. So their health is, just in case you've been wondering why their health is not the same in every fight. It's sort of randomly generated based on their strength and battle score at the start of a fight. So it can be varying at any different level. But yeah, just in case you wondered. Keeps it a bit random, bit unpredictable. Alfwold dodges a hit from Ben, tries to attack but misses. Ben blocks a hit from Alfwold. Alfwold tries to attack but misses. This is boring. Ben grins at Alfwold. Alfwold tries to swing but misses and hits nothing. Ben finally gets a good hit on Alfwold. Alfwold then strikes Ben as hard as possible. Wow. Ben gets a good hit on Alfwold. This has got to be Ben's fight. Ben swings wildly, hitting nothing. Ben the Ensnared strikes Alfwold as hard as possible on the head and kills him. Alfwold the Twice Chained is defeated. Oh god, at least he's dead and I don't have to say his name again. And eliminated from the tournament. The crowd cheers and applauds Ben the Ensnared as he leaves victorious. And there we go. Ben the Ensnared is free. And his head looks like a jar. Very bizarre looking guy. The tournament has come to an end and the victor has secured the greatest gift of all. Freedom. Freedom for Ben the Ensnared. Ben the Ensnared's chains are broken. Now he must choose what to do with his newfound freedom. You collect the profit from your entry fees for the Slave Gauntlet in a gold bag and take it for yourself. So I got 597 gold. And if you remember, the 8 slave soldiers that I bought cost me 40 gold. So that's a profit and we got some entertainment. It's just a little bit immoral. And my public opinion went from -1 to -2. So that is not everything, to be honest, but a decent look at what this update has brought to the table. I don't know, it's been a long time coming, to be honest. I'm glad to see the arena getting some love and attention, because it's quite a centerpiece of the game. Unlike the brawl pits and all those sorts of things that you have to go off and find in the world, the arena's right in front of you at the start of every game. unless you spawn without it, of course, which can happen. But I'm really glad to see it improve. I know I'm going to enjoy it myself when I'm playing, and I really hope that anyone that does enjoy Warsim and plays in the arena finds these changes to be good. If you have any bugs or anything that you come across, I'm all ears. Just hit me up on any of the platforms that you follow Warsim on. And I'm always open to new ideas, but I am trying to avoid being avalanched by them as I try and carry on with the combat update. So the reason I was working on this, by the way, and not the combat update, for anyone who's curious, is I took a little bit of a break because my computer sort of screwed up a little bit, and when I came back the combat update stuff was quite a lot, so I was like, well, I'll ease my way back into programming by doing a little bit of work on some other stuff, and then unfortunately that led to 3 weeks of arena work. But I am going to get back on track with the combat update stuff very soon. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you appreciate the update. Take care everyone. Bye.